Hey guys, in this video we are going to go over toe spreading devices and how they relate to plantar fasciitis and how and why you want to use them for plantar fasciitis and how they can relieve pain. A lot of people in most societies today that have access to the internet and are watching this video are wearing shoes every day, and shoes cause the toes to be pushed together. When the toes are pushed together, bones get pushed out of alignment and circulation gets messed up, bones get forced into positions that are unfavorable to the joints and to the muscles firing around them, and it puts a lot of things into instability, and it makes things very weak. And so what we want to do is we want to put the bones into their natural aligned places with toe spreading devices, so that when the bones are in the right position, circulation's increased, which increases healing activity of the feet, and also the joints all the way up to the hip, the back, everything relies on the foot muscles and the foot bones and the foot joints all working together in the way that they're naturally supposed to work. So we want to spread those toes. Most people have very crunched together toes. A natural toe or a natural foot is supposed to have toes that spread out pretty darn wide. You should have space between every toe when you are just standing. I'll show that in a second. So the three spreading devices that I personally love, and I've bought pretty much every single toe spreading device on the internet to see which ones work the best. The first one that I want to go over is the socks. Toe spreading socks. They're like $2 or $3, free shipping, straight from China, obviously. They work great. You want to start with these because they do a very subtle amount of stretching compared to the other toe stretchers. We want to start with toe stretching socks also because you can wear them comfortably at night. A lot of the other toe spreaders are not comfortable at night and they can fall off. It's not fun when you wake up and your toes are really painful because you're trying to stretch them too much with, like, say, one of these, okay? We want to start off with toe stretching socks first. Very good, very crucial. This should be a very progressive step to spread out your toes. It takes months. Okay, it's persistent every day. It's not like you stretch it once a week and then magically you look down and you're like, oh, my feet have just undone 20, 30, 40 years of being stuck in shoes. No, it doesn't work that way. We want to start off the first couple months with this, and then at the same time, every day for about an hour, we can wear these. These are gel spreaders. There's lots and lots and lots of these available online for very cheap. These are about $7, free shipping on Amazon. Very awesome. So use these at night or whenever. These are pretty darn safe to use all day, whenever. I wouldn't walk with them though. Only when you're laying down or when you're sitting down or if you're sleeping. Throughout the day, you don't want to wear anything while walking. I'm going to get to that in a second because you want to do it later on in the progression, but not at first. And then this is for like spreading your foot bones out a lot, really fast. And you only want to do this for like an hour a day. So gel spreaders. The next one is going to be correct toes. After about 2 or 3 months of using the correct toes, the toe spreading socks, and after like 2 or 3 months of using the gel spreaders, now you can progress to correct toes. You can wear these while walking, but you need to start using these only after your feet are prepared, okay? These can strain your toes. I've had it happen. I've heard some other podiatrists mention that they're dangerous because they can hurt your toe, but they're very safe, and most people can put them on the first day and walk around and be fine. But just to be on the safe side, I know a lot of you guys that read my books and watch my videos, you're a lot older, and if something happens to your feet, you know, you don't want any problems with your feet. You don't want any injuries, because injuries in the foot can develop into other problems, especially when you're older. Lack of blood circulation. And let's say you have a bad diet and your ankles are swollen. It's going to be a lot more harder to heal. So yeah, be very careful with this. Very slow, progressive change. Now, correct toes, you wear while you walk around, right? So you can put this inside your shoes while you walk, unlike the other toe spreading devices. The thing about correct toes, though, is that you need a shoe that can actually fit your toes when they're spread out with this on. So what you want to do is you want to put correct toes on, go down to the store, and then put your shoe underneath your foot and see if it can actually spread out. Alright, now I've got the correct toes on, and you can see that my toes are quite a bit more spread than the other side. The other side I'm spreading out like voluntarily, but this is how it usually is. and then you put the correct toes on and it spaces the toes out. Some things that you need to understand about correct toes, though, is that if your pinky toe, whoops, there we go. If your pinky toe is pushed out too far, and it's out to here, and it starts hurting you, you need to cut this little thing off, the little divider. There's a little cut in it, and you can make it shorter. It's in the instructions for correct toes, but you got to do that. You got to make it shorter if it starts hurting. You do not want to spread your pinky toe too far, too fast. Also, after a couple months, you can put a little piece of foam inside this little hole right here to spread your big toe out further. There are some bunion spreading devices that are specifically for only the big toe, and it replaces just this and not the rest of the toe spacers. Those can work for like the first couple months as well, but you want to eventually develop enough flexibility with your little foot structure so that you can accommodate for correct toes. Correct toes is a awesome little device. You put it in either or. You can switch it back and forth throughout the day. But you gotta remember, slow progression. You can wear both of them all day, but sometimes it might be less strenuous just to wear one and then put it on the other foot and go back and forth. So this is what it looks like when you wear the gel toe spreaders. These ones spread the toes quite a bit more than the correct toes, as you can see. They just spread all the toes out really far. You do not want to walk with these, okay? You can hurt your feet with walking with these kinds of toe spreaders. What we want to do, though, is just stand. Standing with these is safe and works really well to spread those toes. Also, when you're doing this, you want to push inward towards each other with the big toes, and you want to spread the tiny toes away from each other. So you really want to just focus on using your muscles to spread out the toes even more so than what the toe spreading device can do. So these are the toe spreading socks, and these are the ones you want to wear while you're sleeping or while you're sitting or anytime throughout the day. You can walk with these ones like the correct toes, but it should be only after 2 or 3 months, and then you can start wearing these socks. Till then, you just want to wear these while you're sitting, or you could wear these while standing, but walking is kind of a big no-no until after about 2 or 3 months. Also, if you're super healthy and you have a good diet, you can make these progression steps quicker. Go by feel. If it doesn't feel as sore the next day, wear whatever toe spreading device you want for longer. So the way these toe spreading devices actually work is that they place your foot bones into a anatomically correct position for absorbing shock from the ground. It also causes the bones to be placed in their position so that the muscles can fire, and when the muscles can fire, they can pump nutrients in and waste out. The more circulation you have in an area, the less chance there is for degenerative inflammatory processes to develop, whether it's plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, anything such as that nature. So when we spread the toes, though, what's going on here? It's putting some other bones into some new positions, okay? So if I push the toes like this, and this is what a foot looks like when it's in a standard American shoe, right? It causes pronation. So when I push the big toe inward and these toes this way, it causes pronation. When you spread the toes outward, it raises up the arch. So take your big toe and spread it this way, and you'll watch the arch go up, okay? When the arch goes up, it puts a external rotation on the tibia, or the lower leg bones, and the fibula kind of has to accommodate for that position. And what this does is it puts your body into a more proper position that is more natural. It's meant to be like that. Your toes are meant to be outspread all day long, every day. And then it can do its job a lot better, and you will not have development of chronic inflammatory issues. So after a couple months of using toe spreading devices, your toes should be out, and the best way to know when it's actually ready is check this out. When you're standing, if you can spread out your toes so there's a little bit of space between each and every single one of them. Goodness gracious, I did this last night and I was just fine. Well, anyways, I can see a little separation there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I've got a little bit of separation each toe, and that's good. That means that your toes are spreading out, and now the muscles are firing accordingly, and even this right here, you can tell that there's less pronation. It's a really solid arch. And so when we look at my feet right now, what we want to do is think, when the toes are spread out, the muscles start firing. We want to start working out the muscles of the foot now. we want to start standing and pressing our toes into the ground as hard as you can. Lean forward and press your toes into the ground. That will make the muscles of your arch extremely strong. Remember, you do not want to have an arch support. Well, if you have severe plantar fasciitis, you want an arch support. But till then, you really want the actual foot muscles to be your arch support. The best arch support is your foot muscles. Some other things that you can do is press your big toe into the ground. Lift up your big toe and press your toes into the ground. Kind of go back and forth like that. That's a really good coordination one, and will strengthen up the feet a bit. Lots of different things you can do. You can grab things, grab carpet, push your toes into the ground. I love the just tilt forward and push your toes into the ground. That makes them super strong. When you're walking, you want to try to use your foot muscles. That means pushing into the ground with your toes when you walk. So whenever you walk, try to keep your foot muscles activated and pushing into the ground. Once you start getting these muscles firing again, you will feel them support the arch of your foot with every step. At first, when I was pushing down and like trying to engage my foot muscles, I felt nothing because they were so weak. After spreading the toes for a while and then doing some more exercises with my toes, I felt the muscles engaging and I could feel my arch rise. Like I can literally spread out my toes, push into the ground, and my arch just goes up like crazy. So you really want your feet to do this. You want them to be super strong in that way. And the only way we can do this though is by spreading the toes first. You cannot do these exercises until you spread the toes out and then you get everything working again, because till the toes are spread, the bones are out of alignment, so the nerves are not firing properly because the muscles are trying to compensate for the bad joint positions, and you really can't do anything until you spread those toes. So anyways, long story short, wear these 3 months after, and during sleeping every night, wear these. If it feels good, just go by what your body says. If something feels painful, don't do it. Just go by what you feel, and it should be a slow, easy progression. Alright, I hope I covered everything in this video. I had a lot to cover, so yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and like this video if it helps your pain. These things will permanently resolve your pain for a long time, especially if you have bunions and such. I'm mostly going for the plantar fasciitis, but you know, this stuff applies to a lot of other foot ailments. Alright, take care guys, bye.